Hello, my dear.
Hello, dear.
How are we doing on this fine spring? It's spring, hallelujah. On this fine spring Monday.
Okay.
Looking nice. What
Thank you.
is that? A scarf you got going on there?
Yeah, I got a scarf. I thought the top was a little low, so I thought I'd better
Ooh,
run some
yeah, cover
interference.
up. Cover
Yeah,
up. This is a family show.
I know exactly. So I thought I'd throw that on there so it's not too
Yeah,
rude.
nice, nice. Looking good. What do you got?
Thank
What
you,
do you
thank
got
you.
in the? What's your cup say?
Um, it's a zebra. It says nothing is ever black and white.
Nothing is ever black and white. Hmm.
Yep. Our
Huh.
friend who worked in the zoo with the large animals, she did zebra and rhinos. She passed away a year and a half ago. So
Uh-huh.
I got some of her stuff, including some of her coffee mugs.
There you go. I like it. I do like it. So,
I
welcome
made a
to the
fresh pot
music.
of coffee. I also have tea. I have two kinds of tea. Listen, I've got the cups lined up. Look at here's my trees of
Holy
mystery.
shit, you're two fisting it. Trees of Mystery.
Have you
I
ever
like
been up
that.
there?
No, but I like the name.
Oh,
What
you have to
is
take
it?
the kid. Oh my
Or
gosh.
what?
You go up the California coast right when you get to Oregon,
Huh?
and then before you cut over Oregon. Anyway,
Okay.
it's the most beautiful place in the world. Let's see who. Wait, I'm not done. I got another one.
How much shit are you drinking, man?
Las
Aha.
Vegas.
Aha.
I
Very
had a
nice. No,
challenging day. So I have rose hips in one. I have cistus tea, and I have coffee.
well, you have coffee. That's all that matters. I just have the Selby. Like, if I hold it right in front of my face, it's like my head is the coffee mug. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Um, yeah, that's cute, huh?
Did I ever
So,
tell you that my great great grandmother's maiden name is Scott?
no, no, I would have
That's where we
remembered
got
that.
part of our Scottish heritage. Go ahead.
You're run that by me again. Your great,
Okay, on my
great.
dad's side,
Uh huh.
his dad, my dad's mom, her maiden name is Scott.
Dad's mom.
Yeah.
Huh? Who knew? So we might be related somewhere down the line. Doubtful,
I
but
just I just found all that up a couple years ago.
yeah, those family dynamics is kind of weird. We found out that we were had Irish as we were bouncing off St. Patrick's Day. I didn't know. Actually, my dad lived to be I don't know 60 years old before he knew that he had any Irish because
What? He
my
thought he was all Italian?
he thought he was German and Italian because my
Mm.
great grandmother had divorced his blood grandfather back in the day when like divorce was like way taboo. You didn't, and they didn't tell anybody. Until an old timer was talking to me, an old friend of the family, and he was like, "Oh no, no, she was married twice. I know she was." And then of course, then I asked my dad, and he didn't know anything about it. So then he asked his mother, who was alive at the time, my grandmother,
Ooh.
and oh yeah, she came unglued. She was like, "Oh, that fucker and his big mouth
Oh,
and blah 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 blah." Yeah, so this guy that my dad always thought was his grandfather wasn't truly his grandfather.
listen, these
Just
things are, I guess, not unusual. There's little family secrets generationally,
yeah,
because that grandma that I talked about, my great great grandmother, her name was
Scott.
they called her Little Nana from Nassau because she was from Nassau, Bahamas.
Okay.
Anyways, and she came to the United States in the early 1800s. Well, anyway,
Uh-huh.
she at her death wanted all of her papers burned. So there's some connections we can't make because there's no
Yeah.
records. She wanted her stuff burned. Burn all my
She was
papers.
she was hiding something.
Yes,
Isn't
she
that
was, and I want to
fucking
know what it
nuts?
is.
Well, I don't think you're gonna find that out. I
Mm-mm.
I wanted to know something the other day that I could
Mm.
not. I mean, I really wanted to know a fact about family history. There's one member of the family who I would consider a historian of the family, and he didn't know. And I was like, well, dude, you're supposed to know because everybody else that I could ask that would know is dead. So,
What do you want to know?
oh, I wanted to know about a business that was owned by my grandfather one time and who he'd sold it to and just like stuff like that. Just stupid shit. But anyhow, I digress.
I could find
The
names and dates for you when people are born, but
Yeah, yeah, or this is like how my mind goes sometimes. You said find stuff. Um, have you ever gotten to find a grave?
You better believe it.
Oh my God! You look up like celebrities and stuff, or who do you look up? People you know and celebrities, right?
I was just looking for my family years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to find John Belushi or Jimi Hendrix or somebody, you pop right up.
I know, but I don't want to find that stuff. Anyway.
No, it's nuts though that all that stuff is out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, we're hoping that we're going to have a news report from our correspondent Scooter McGee.
All
Him and I
right.
were Yeah, we were deep into some technical challenges, trying to figure out how we could bring him on in the since he is in the undisclosed location. I can't really
Yes,
say. We don't want to put him in danger
that's for
by
sure.
yeah, by disclosing where he's at. So hopefully we get him on. We're going to try a couple of things. If nothing else, we will get him on via phone.
Okay.
But we will just kind of see how things roll, and we will go from there.
All right.
Did I tell you I got back to the gym finally? Because I don't have to wear my mask.
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. So I've been back to the gym 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks, maybe a month. Some things though, Jackie, never change. And what's funny
What, people coming
is
by to get your hand weights when you're on the bench using the 20s and some guy comes and picks up your 10s and you're laying right there next to the bench using them on alternating
I don't
reps? Yeah, been there.
yeah, I don't jack with the free weights that much
Oh,
for
you
that
don't?
reason. No, I'm on the machines and I'm on the treadmill,
Oh,
then I'm out of there. I did have a lady. The only time, so I go to Planet Fitness, which is the judgment free zone, as they publicize it. It's
okay.
judgment free, which is cool for people that go in there. That I mean, there's some big people that go in there. Not gonna lie, and you know what? That's cool. That's a place where they can go without judgment. But people are still in there. Why is that guy wearing that? What's up with that? It's just human nature sometimes to kind of go through. You try not to, but you just are more accepting, I guess. It should be the acceptance zone instead of the judgment free zone.
Do you enjoy going to the gym?
No, I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hate it.
Here's what I
My
hate
main
the lights, the smell, the other people.
my main goal in going to the gym is leaving the gym. And that
Oh.
is my motivation. That is my only motivation. Like during those months from November. Oh, hey, look, there he is.
Popped onto the broadcast.
Hello there.
You're sideways.
But you're on the other side of the world, upside down side of the world or something.
Equatorial Africa.
There we go. Good evening,
Hold on a
Mr.
minute.
McGee.
Good morning, good afternoon, or hold on a moment.
Okay.
I kind of like these sideways like that.
Very funny.
Well, just like the coin where there's three sides, the front. Do the headlines like this for giggles and grins.
Yeah, perfect. So we're not going to disclose where you're at or what you're doing because we don't want you. We know you're in danger of possibly being gassed or napalmed or bombed or something. But we don't want to disclose that. But
Okay.
we know that you have the true news, the real news.
The headlines that everybody's being bombarded with in the media, and
Oh no.
Yes,
they said this. Oh, tomorrow they'll say
Scooty,
this.
you're freezing.
You're freezing.
Yeah, you're bunking.
Rats, you were okay at first. Now how come what's wrong with this thing?
Let's do this. Call the leisure line. Call the leisure line, and we'll put you on the phone. Like I said, Jackie won't be able to ask you any questions, but we'll be able to hear what you got going on as what's newsworthy in leisure land today, or wherever the hell you are.
It's actually
So log out.
freezing, or if it's freezing on you guys. All right.
Yep.
Fair enough. Then I'll sign out and
Sounds like a winner, bro. That's cool though. I like it. I wish we could have kept him sideways like that.
I wonder what's wrong with that. It's the internet connection? There's not
He
enough.
says he has zero internet where he's at. So we'll get him on the phone here. There we go. And I need to learn how to answer my phone. And Scooter.
I can hear you 5x5. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine. You sound great.
Outstanding.
Jackie's giving you the thumbs up.
Good evening, Jackie. Good evening, Scotty. So where should we start in the headlines? What is it you're looking for?
You give us what's pertinent, what's important, and what we need to know. In that order.
You're asking the wrong guy to ask stuff. Again, I'm finding this global media coverage of an incident in Ukraine. It reminds me of magic, where the sleight of hand is follow this while you don't watch what the other hand is doing. And there are so many stories around the world that are going largely unnoticed. Doesn't mean they're not happening. And you could get into a conspiratorial debate if you wanted to as to whether or not these headlines was, if they were linked or nefarious in nature. But I think a lot of the world now is no longer believing, hey, this was an intelligence error. We missed this one, or no, where are the hundreds of billions of dollars in national security and defense and all of that and intelligence, and they've dropped the ball on this. And then the bigger question is, if it's such an emergency to have a summit, why does it take a week for everybody to get there when everybody like President Zelensky can address Congress, he can address the German parliament, he can address the world, and he can even get on his Instagram account and do a video from the streets of Ukraine. It seems like it's no longer a bunch of people in over their head or even incompetent. It's almost to suggest they might be, maybe, in another dimension, in cahoots.
You're saying that this could all be scripted?
Well, if we want to talk string, this is the leisure podcast. We don't have time for string theory and particle theory, but it's really getting harder and harder to believe that these are errors in judgment by some of the greatest minds of the 20th and 21st century. We're supposed to believe them and respect them and trust them. And it's getting harder and harder to when we see the headlines. In the last 2 weeks, the Russian military and the Russian government only acknowledged the death of 498 Russian soldiers. As of today now, 2022, 9,800 plus dead Russian soldiers, 16,000 wounded. That's 25,000 Russians dead or wounded, and you're not allowed to tweet or Instagram or Facebook out of Russia because it might be propaganda.
But
we're worried about the women and children of Ukraine and the refugees. Okay, well, we got a couple thousand dead. We're talking 20, again, a 10 to 1, 12 to 1 ratio. We haven't seen that kill ratio since Vietnam. And all of the tactical, hypersonic, drone, smart weapons in the world are not going to defeat guerrilla warfare. And if the world doesn't realize that after the Ides of March 2022, then the world is no longer going to be beyond help. I don't believe that. I hope people like you and Jackie are right, and there's another way out of this nonsense.
But I mean, you mentioned tweeting out of Russia. Putin still has his Twitter account.
Isn't that interesting?
Isn't that interesting?
You can't have President Trump on the Twitter.
Right.
But, he's a madman. He's crazy.
Yep.
Did you see what he said on his Twitter? Well, wait a minute. He's a madman and it's crazy. We were saying that about somebody else.
Right. Iran still has their Twitter account. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and you and I were talking before the broadcast about this whole thing being possibly set up to make what's his name, Joe Biden, out to be the quote unquote leader of the world, and he's
The
got
talking points on the Sunday morning talk show was nauseating. Talking about the former president of the Ukraine on Fox News, talking about how President Biden has to step forward. Let me get the actual quotes, since we're talking about something specific. The former president of Ukraine is calling for President Biden while he is having this emergency NATO summit in Brussels to come to Kiev. And now isn't the president being there kind of dangerous? Yeah, it's a war. But we have he's got, the former president of Ukraine has a 5-point plan to bring peace to the region. But President Biden coming to Kiev to meet with President Zelensky will be hugely symbolic and greatly important. President Biden needs to display a global leadership, and we need a leader that isn't afraid to be president of the world.
That's right. Let's hope he doesn't trip up the stairs again.
And then, again, the same guy says, don't trust Putin. Don't be afraid of Putin. Then tell that to the White House staff, who are still trying to negotiate the Iranian deal, and the Russians are part of that.
Are part of the negotiation.
So, part of the negotiation.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword there. And although President Obama, excuse me, boy, that was a Freudian slip. Although President Biden, he just wishes he could be in a bunker with an earpiece and let somebody else take the hits. President Biden now declaring Vladimir Putin a war criminal. There's a problem. This continued demand for aid. They're now calling all of the hundreds of millions and now billions of dollars, especially since America didn't see what was passed in the omnibus package. Congress gave themselves a 20% pay raise, but don't let that get in the way of a good story.
What?
The call for the money. We're not going to send any soldiers, but we'll send everything from nutrition to ammunition. That should scare everybody.
Yeah.
Because the talking point of if we don't have a no-fly zone, and if we do, would that be World War III? We are in World War II right now. I'm sorry, World War III right now.
We are.
And I direct your attention to World War II with the Japanese and why they allegedly attacked Pearl Harbor and that story and narrative. But this started in the 30s with all of the embargoes to choke off Japan. Because Japan, back then, Nippon, was becoming a hugely industrial problem to the West, being the United States and England, in their manufacturing and expansion. And, well, let's embargo their oil, let's embargo their sugar, let's embargo their wheat, let's embargo their steel. Let's attack America at the heart. Strike them at Pearl Harbor, they'll cave to their knees, and they'll crawl back. And I hate to bring up Yamamoto on the deck of the Akagi on that afternoon. Oh, dear God. We've awoken a sleeping giant. Because behind every blade of grass in the United States is an American with a gun. And that's what's happening now in the Ukraine. The people who aren't refugees, who are fighting the Russians, get this, Scott, get this, Jackie, they're being called freedom fighters.
Wow.
I'll let you sink all that in, because I kind of went on a rant there.
Hey, that's all right. We want you to rant, because that's how we get that information out. And
the talking point of debating World War III is nonsense. Just because it is not a kinetic war by World War III definition of cruise missiles, smart bombs, and tactical nuclear weapons, embargoes, sanctions, shellings, missile attacks, taking out helicopters, taking out jets, and replacing the jets. The state of war exists. And since we're calling on the international community to continue this nonsense of funding one side and choking off the other, how is that not war?
Yeah, it's just because nobody has actually come out and declared. Once you declare it, then it becomes official,
Oh, bingo. Then we have names to paper, and you want to talk about war crimes. Well, let's talk about General Curtis Lemay, who is recognized as a nutcase and a war hero and everything else in between. Had World War II ended differently, General Curtis Lemay, amongst many others, would have been brought up at Nuremberg for war crimes. It's just what side of the winning or losing side are you on that makes a war criminal versus the war crimes tribunal.
Yeah, there's no war with, hey, let's give all these guys a bouquet of flowers. That's not how war works.
It frightens me also in the Sunday talking points of all political sides doing their pundit shows. The calls on both sides of the aisle, there's bipartisanship. Yeah, that should scare everybody. Both sides agree to something. Bad idea. It's an illegal war. It's an immoral war. It's an unjust war. It must be stopped at all costs. I'm curious, and I will now get ready to spin a couple of headlines and then go back into my corner and watch the show from afar and maybe have your audience in a question of the day. When is war ever legal? When is war ever moral? When is war ever just? They're attaching words that have absolutely no business next to war. War is brutally ugly. Rape, rob, and pillage. We're seeing the Russian army do that because they're using the Soviet playbook. We, the West, we being the West, are using this woke playbook of condemnation and voting and meetings and strategy. The only thing the politicians can do is manage a crisis. It appears to me they've never been able to solve one. But what's a moral war? What's a just war? What's a legal war? I have no clue. But that's what they're ranting about on all the shows. And they're not news shows anymore. They're just everybody yelling and screaming at each other that they're right. And it's all in the hypothetical. You don't understand the technology available for a no-fly zone. You don't understand the Soviet mentality.
Amen.
In my opinion. In the video sideways. Perhaps on another world I'm upside down.
No, you that's why we want you here, man, because you are going to tell us the points that need to be made, and the facts that need to be
I think the next story
spread.
on the headlines over the weekend, a couple of stories that were missed.
Yeah.
The supply chain shortages in the United States. We still have a container ship stuck out in the Chesapeake Bay, and they keep telling us that it shouldn't affect the supply chain problems. So that kind of tells me they're going to use that as an escape excuse for something.
How long is that?
Been out there 2.5 weeks now. They haven't been able to seem to make it budge. Its sister ship, by the way, I said ship, was the one that was stuck in the Suez Canal during COVID.
Interesting.
But in this way, everybody should be embargoing. Don't buy any Russian anything. And if you know a Russian, unfriend them. And if you know a Russian business, don't buy from them. India. India, by the way, is a nuclear nation. They have the bomb. They have weapons to defend themselves. India is continuing to purchase their oil from Russia. And their last purchase was this past before the end of the week. And they're expected to make, again, continuing purchases. But this argument of giving any money to Russia is fueling the war. See, they're already saying war, but they're claiming it's not World War III. So there's a very interesting problem. How are you going to start demonizing, and I don't know how to say it, Indians? The people from India? How many law-abiding, respecting Indians of India live in the United States and in the West? Are we supposed to start demonizing them next because they're getting their country is getting their oil from Russia?
Well, isn't Europe still buying stuff from Russia as well?
Well, that's correct, because on Twitter, you never let facts get in the way of a good story. Here are all the companies that are still doing business. No, you selected very specific Fortune 500 companies to go after. There are thousands of businesses conducting business with Russia as all part of NAFTA and our trade agreements with the European Union and NATO and our allies and the government contracts. We certainly don't want to talk about government contracts, do we? And all of the subcontractors under them. Make sure we stay mad at Pepsi.
Right, and McDonald's.
And McDonald's.
Yeah.
And Starbucks.
And Starbucks, right. And Starbucks is getting, but they're doing the right thing, and they're going to get rid of all their paper cups. I saw that.
Well, it's going to take about 18 months. They have a 5-point plan. It's going to start with you bringing in your own mug. Then you're going to start having to mark your own mug. Stand by. You're not only going to have to wash it, but you can order from a kiosk and go fill it yourself.
Oh, well, there you go. Sounds like a winner.
Automation is great. On a side note, before a Hollywood moment, the fire department for the city of New York, Jackie has not been able to chime in. I don't know if she's laughing or rolling her eyes or hiding under a blanket. Do you guys remember when they first showed the robotic dog? It was yellow and it was running on a treadmill.
Okay.
Remember?
Right.
It was a robotic dog. It's a rover. It can be. Well, the city of New York, their fire department has acquired 70 plus of these. Now these things were creepy looking in the lab,
Dude.
and the city took care of that by painting them blue and white. And talk about the police state and Minority Report. Some people are concerned that the fire department is rolling out these new rover dogs,
Wow.
patrol dogs. They'll be used for fire investigation and rescue, etc., replacing biological dogs as get ready for whatever the next rollout of weaponized police use is.
Robo-dogs.
And they're using the fire department in New York to soften the blow to New Yorkers seeing these, and now with the police department per se.
Whoa. It's like the Terminator.
And I believe, if there's numerology behind it, I believe they acquired 77 of them.
Oh my gosh.
Smokes.
For New York.
Holy smokes. Now, do you know the numbers of what one of those things costs to manufacture?
Well, there's contractors
Sure.
that may or may not be a part of. I'm sure that's available through the GAO, the General Accounting Office. And then New York, in their annual for the police, they have to submit a budget and then the allocation, and then I'm sure would be a line item in there that was under a grant with the federal government, the fire department, that will pay half if you implement testing these. I don't know. I'm speculating. I did no research. I only covered the headline.
Yeah, that is freaking nuts, man.
And again, the news covered it like this is going to be good. These are going to be. Those things are scary looking. And they're no different than the yellow ones when they rolled them out of the lab. They just painted them New York colors, blue and white.
Whoa. Nuts. Okay, Hollywood, what do you got?
The good news is Britney Spears is off Instagram.
Thank God.
By choice.
By choice.
This isn't the Kanye nonsense. By the way, this Kanye nonsense is just that. If they can ban him for 24 hours because he's creepy stalker, imagine the world every one of us is going to live in now when you text her 3 times asking, "Are you mad at me?"
Oh, boy.
They're going to shut you down, throw you in a gulag, yada, yada, yada. No, Britney Spears now out of the... I can't believe I'm doing a story like this in the same tonight. Britney Spears... Maybe there's hope at TMZ yet. Britney Spears has been very vocal at times during what was to be the end of her conservatorship regarding her estate, her finances, the ability to get a tattoo, post a picture, get pregnant, go on a date, whatever she wants to do. And since the conservatorship was released or removed, whatever the legal term was, she's been Britney again. And in a recent string of Instagram posts that I would never have been shown or told about, except a friend of mine does follow her because he thinks it's hysterical, she was kind of going now regarding the individuals in the family who I believe are all going to be subject to embezzlement. She's not happy with them, and she'd like to see them off the face of the earth, at least at room temperature. And if they died a horrific death, she would not only not lose sleep over it, but might have a party. And so I don't know if her new handlers have suggested it or Britney just had a moment of reason and went, you know what? I'm going to just delete my account now. Goodbye.
Free
And
Britney.
maybe she starts a new one. Who knows? My concern, since most of the world doesn't remember, I still think she's a mind control multiple out of the Disney world. And those kids don't fare well when they get away from their handlers and stop doing what they want to pay the bills. And Britney has certainly done that. So I wish her best success, as I do the Leisure Podcast and you, Jackie Selby. Yeah, for all you Britney fans on Instagram, sucks to be you, and go be happy. And hopefully Britney's going to go be happy, and the world will find out about it in another tell-all book.
And where can our listeners and the people out in Leisureland find out more about Scooter McGee and what he has to say?
Oh, simple Google search or scootermcgee.com.
Scooter McGee.
You can hear what other people say about me, or you can find me at scootermcgee.com.
And they can network through all of your social media platforms and YouTube and all that through there as well.
In theory, that's what I pay the web guy to do. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Okay. Well, this has been beautiful, man. You, my friend, are awesome, and I enjoyed our previous chat and brainstorming with you.
Two other points you and Jackie may want to talk about.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about the push for electric cars. Electric car sales across the United States spiked 84% in 20 days as of yesterday. Today's the 21st.
Wow, crazy.
So as of Sunday, from the 1st of March to yesterday, electric cars in the United States spiked 84%, and that means there's about 200 electric cars left on the car lots across the United States, and the rest now have to be ordered.
Isn't that what they want, though?
I don't know. There was that number. And in the meantime, in the economic landscape, when the Federal Reserve announced their 0.25% interest rate, standard fixed loans now for mortgages now set at 4% for prime. Most of the people who buy a house don't get that premium
Don't
number,
get that, yeah.
But that's the number they're reporting.
Wow.
So that is going to vastly affect the U.S. home market, and we'll see where that goes in the next quarter. But that happened this last week. So those are your two economic numbers.
All right.
I wish I had better news.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I mean, what are you going to do? That's the world in 2022, sadly,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yep.
I mean, that's where we're at. That's what we got to look at.
I'll look forward to looking at you guys. I'll just jump here on the Facebook and watch you guys from there.
Awesome,
Have a great
brother.
show. Break both legs.
Yeah, we love you, man. Be good.
Love you too, guys. Be well. Be safe.
All right.
See you
Be
later.
wary of the headlines.
Yes, very.
See ya.
Gotta love that dude. Gotta love that dude, man.
I'd love to get a better way to put him on the show.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out, you know. But that was good, and that was a lot of information, a lot of good information. I hope the people listening out there. I see Brian popped on. We got a couple other viewers and listeners out there. Yeah, hopefully they got something out of that, you know. Wow, it'll be interesting to watch how these next few weeks play out. And you know that he was talking about with the emergency, you know, meeting that they planned a week out. I mean, yeah, that's something that, you know, Karen Homemaker out there is just going to say, oh, you know, this or this, and put the Ukraine flag up on their Facebook and forget about it, and not even like think that through. Like, wait a minute, can't they just Zoom? I mean, can't they just pick up the phone? Can't they just figure that all out? Why do they have to set up all this bullshit, you know? But either way, so I was back at the gym.
Okay, so that's right. Is that where we started?
I was back at the gym, and yeah, we were talking about the free weights, but some things, even after COVID, never change. I mean, they put out more sanitizing stations, yet I still See, and it's usually what's crazy is it's usually like the old timers in there. I mean, not to point fingers and not to be judgmental at the judgment free zone, but it's generally like the 70-year-old or 65-year-old dudes that walk around and they've got like this. I'm going to use one of these. They've got one of these paper towels that they have folded, like seriously, like maybe this big,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And they've sprayed it once with the sanitizer, but
Mm-hmm.
they like seriously will carry it around in their pocket, and they give things kind of like the once over, like this and this and this and this and this, and they're done.
Sorry. Ah.
and I'm sitting there like, I mean, I'm not a neat freak, I'm not a germaphobe, but when I go to spray down the machine, I've got a little, I hit the thing about 7 times, so I get probably a 2 foot thing of paper towel. I do fold that up into something probably about this, and I spray the fuck out of that thing, man. I mean, I want to know that shit's going on there for the next person, because the next person might be that old guy that's not going to wipe it down anyhow. So maybe I'm just doing twice as much. I don't know.
So I'm going to ask you again. Do you enjoy going to the gym?
No, I don't. I don't enjoy going to the gym at all. I enjoy listening to my music at the gym, and I enjoy the hydro chair at the end, and then I enjoy walking out of the gym.
What's the hydro chair?
It's like hot tub jets on a big recliner, and they move up and down my back.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, it's fucking glorious. It is beautiful. It's beautiful. So yeah, there was that topic. I don't know where to go from there. I've got a little list in front of me looking at things.
Oh, well, I was thinking that on the heels of what Scooter was saying about the prime rate increasing,
Right.
and
Right.
nobody gets prime hardly when you're going to get a loan. So how about this? $78,000 is the average amount of cash you have to scoop together to get a loan on the average cost of a home right now for your down payment. $78,000. Who the hell has $78,000 right now? Sure,
What is
after
the
COVID,
average?
when it destroyed all of our money,
And what's the average cost of a home?
I think the
Would you say
national
four
average
hundred
was.
thousand?
Let's not talk about
Higher?
our hometowns,
Right. Oh yeah, not in
because
Denver.
they're way above four. I mean, I think in Denver it's gone to five, isn't it? Is it at 490?
Yeah, there's townhomes running 400,000.
It's madness. So you
Wow.
think now? I always ask people. So you still think this system is working for all of us? They care about us?
No, no. It's working for some people.
Yeah. Oh, and that super yacht that they were thinking it was one of the oligarchs. It's actually Putin's. The
Oh, the one that got.
$700 million one.
Yeah.
That big thing. It looks like a. I don't know, man. It's crazy. What $700 million? What do you have on the thing? Gold toilets. That still doesn't account for $700 million on a ship.
This whole thing just gets. We're stuck in this thing for a while. We're stuck in this thing for a while, man.
It's crazy, but the good news is it is spring, and I think more and more people are coming around to these facts that, hey, this isn't working.
Hmm.
What is this crazy stuff? You know?
Yeah. Well, at least, it's spring.
Yeah. It's
Spring,
spring,
spring.
and what else? Cinco de Mayo's coming up. Want to talk tacos?
Cinco de Drinko.
Yahoo! I know it's not even
That's
April
it.
yet, people, but
Yeah, we got 420 ahead of us, and April Fool's Day, and
420 is officially a holiday
April
in Colorado,
and Easter.
of course.
Yeah, 420 is a holiday in Colorado. Easter, and then and then Cinco de Drinko. So tacos. We had a discussion today at work because we're
Okay.
doing tacos for lunch on Thursday. Taco
Okay.
Thursday.
Taco Thursday.
And I think I got the answer, but I kind of want to. So, is a fajita? It's basically a taco. But then one of the guys I was talking to, he's like, "Well, that's on a flour tortilla."
You can choose corn. When the waitress comes, they say, "Do you want corn or flour tortillas with your fajitas?"
With the fajitas. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so say you choose corn tortillas.
Yeah.
Isn't that just a taco though? I mean, why are they fajitas? What makes them fajitas and not tacos?
Okay. A lot of people who eat fajitas for real, they just fold. Boy, do I wish I had a tortilla for demonstration purposes. But they just fold and roll the tortilla and scoop the food onto the fork with it.
Oh, so they don't
Nobody's
actually make
nobody's
like.
dumb enough to try to put that juicy, dripping concoction of meat and vegetables and onions and sauce and everything into, unless you're going to bend way over the
Guilty.
table.
Guilty. My kid does. Guilty. Yeah, guilty. So what do you like? Chicken, beef, shrimp? What's your go-to? Do you like fajitas? Are you a fajita person?
No, I like carnitas. Now, get me to El Tejado for some carnitas, and you got yourself
Okay.
a deal.
Now we're cooking with
Man, that is the thing I miss the most is, oh my gosh, El Tejado on South Broadway, people. Oh, the best Mexican, best flan. Oh,
So I'll have to post it. I did an interview. My friend Adam is the mayor of Lakewood. Okay.
okay.
Him and I go back. His dad, just a great family, and we did an interview back on one of those older platforms when I was first trying to get this thing rolling. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a little choppy and the sound isn't great. I might post it just cause, but we were talking about Casa Bonita, man.
Oh yeah.
And the the South Park guys buying Casa Bonita, which I think they've set back the opening a little further. It was the latest I've seen, but yeah, yeah, that was a good interview. So his goal as mayor before his term ends, and he's on. I think he's been reelected. I think he's term limited, so I think he's on his last term. But his goal is to cannonball off the cliff into the
Oh,
where the divers are.
yeah. Good. At least it's not a dive forward, but a cannonball.
A cannonball.
So are you telling? I haven't been there for a while. So you're telling me that Casa Bonita is shut right now?
Yeah, it closed during COVID, and then the South Park guys bought it
What do they want to do
because of
with
the
it?
whole South Park. Oh, they're going to reopen it. They've got a chef in there and everything. Yeah.
Like they're going to serve real food,
Oh yeah, it's going to be cool.
not Casa
That
Bonita
thing is
food?
going to revive. No, not
Okay.
Casa Bonita food. When the last time I went to Casa Bonita, the kid and I went. So COVID was 2020. I think it must have been 2019 when we went and we stopped over there. And you couldn't like we tried to get away with just buying like some fried ice cream and going and sitting down, but you actually had to buy an entree. So for the price of admission, we found the cheapest entree, which was like taco salads, I think. Sat down, they brought out the food. I made an effort, man. I took a bite and I was like, yeah, I can't, man. Just take it away and bring us some sopapillas. Yeah, but that was the last time we were in there. It just hasn't changed. It's Casa Bonita, man.
So are you saying
It's
the guys
cool.
from South Park are going to get a vacuum in there?
Right.
And they're
Totally,
going to
man.
clean the foliage with some,
I'm thinking so, man.
I hope so.
It'll be cool. It'll be cool. If nothing else, it'll draw a lot of attention. I can't watch South Park though, man. The dudes like the way they jerk around.
Yeah. You don't like the
I can only watch
pixelation
it
of
for.
it?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it jacks with my eyes, man. I can only watch it for a little while. It's funny, but I can't. Like if they were more fluid in their motion,
Hmm.
I'd be better off.
Hmm. Well, are they going to theme it up with the South Park characters or
Oh,
Casa
I'm sure
Bonita?
that'll be. Why wouldn't they? They own it. They can do whatever the hell they want. I mean,
I know,
that's.
but if you take out the cliff divers, why would anyone go?
Well, you can't take out the cliff divers.
Well, the character's going to jump off the cliff, Scott. I ask you.
Oh, no, that would be cool. Kenny and uh, Who's the other dude? Who's the round dude? Oh wait, they're all round dudes. Chef. I know Chef.
My friend Chuck is just, if he's watching this, he's going, Jackie, are you kidding me? You don't know the characters' names.
Like I said, I've only really watched
I
it.
can't believe you're on the air doing this.
That's all right. That's all right. We were going to talk. We were going to at least touch base on the swimmer.
Okay.
Were we
From
not?
Georgia?
Yes. So, but okay. Now, this is where I'm at. Bottom line. So, and I'm serious. Transgender, is that junk or no junk? Because I'm confused.
It depends. Now, you don't have to cut off your junk just to go over across the street. I don't know if Bruce Jenner has cut off his things.
I think he has.
You do?
I think he went full. Yeah, I think he did.
I don't know if he did or not. I was watching Australian. I don't know, one of those TV shows. Oh God, clips on my phone, and he still talks like a man when he's being casual.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have junk.
Well, if it's the full conversion, I do believe that they, some individuals prefer to go with female hormones, and that would change the voice and you get a round bottom out of it.
Caitlyn Jenner.
But the problem with Bruce Jenner's face, it's his face that is so disconcerting. I don't care if it was Bruce Jenner wearing a dress, but with the surgery and the pulling, and one of his eyes doesn't close at the same time as the other one, like a doll. It's just freakish.
Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner underwent gender reassignment surgery.
Thank you. Let's be correct. Gender reassignment surgery. Really?
Shh. There's details, man.
What are they?
She was tired of tucking the damn thing in all the time. In her upcoming memoir that she underwent gender reassignment surgery in January of whatever year this was. A surgery was a success.
I don't know. Why are we lowering ourselves to talk about this? It is just awful.
Well, we were talking about the swimmer. We were talking about the swimmer.
The swimmer.
Should the swimmer compete or should the swimmer not compete?
The swimmer should compete in the men's division.
Exactly. Thank you. And what I saw online, Caitlin Bruce, how did I call it? Jen Brucer. She agrees. And this is an Olympic athlete saying that's how that should be. I did see another swimmer who competes in a female swimmer who competes at that level. Wrote a letter to the NCAA. I kind of glimpsed over it a little bit today. Yeah. But in the meantime, while everybody's concentrating on this and concentrating on the next variant, all like Scooter was saying, there's your smoke screen. Everything else is going on behind the curtains.
Yeah, what are they doing behind that curtain, Scott?
Yep. Fuck. This has been nuts. A lot of information.
Good times.
And I never really got to the bottom whether a fajita is a taco or a taco is a fajita.
No. Do not say it. Fajita is not a taco.
A taquita.
No.
Or that's a taquito.
That's a
taco
taquito.
is a taco.
That has meat. Taquito is small. It only has meat in there. And then they roll it and then deep fry it.
Those are good.
Fajitas.
Have you ever had a Jack in the Box taco?
Yes. That kind of should qualify. And they've been making those things since I was in college. We used to get a rack of them, which is 6.
They're so awesome.
On our way home from
they are not tacos,
bar.
but they're something totally different.
No, they're deep fried and full of magic.
Yeah, they're a league of their own for sure, man. Oh yeah.
They are with that cheese, the squirty cheese. And then once it's deep fried, it's like, so good.
Oh yeah, Jack in the Box tacos. Not on my program tonight. I'm juicing tonight, so
Oh, are
I'm gonna
you?
go do that. Yeah, I'm gonna go do that.
What are you going to have?
I've been shoving a couple of apples in there, a cucumber, a little celery, blueberries, a lemon.
All into one
That's it.
big
Yeah, all
giant
into one big
glass of
drink.
juice?
Yep.
Good for you.
I'm trying to do that 2 to 3 times a week for my evening meal. It's been working
for
out
you.
pretty good. Yeah,
Good.
I like it. I like it. So cool.
I had,
All right.
let's see,
Oh,
I had juice this morning. Kale, one apple, a big thing of kale, just a leaf of it,
mhm.
and celery.
Oh, spinach. I put spinach in that thing too. Yeah, yeah. I juiced all my celery for my morning drink before we went on the air, so good to go there.
This is making me want to burn
Beautiful.
there. I should
On
have just done it in the mic.
on that.
Go against the fireplace. It was very embarrassing.
Oh my gosh, where'd that come from? So, on that note, it's been wonderful. Thanks, Scooter.
Thanks, Scooter.
We loved your talk and your information and everything that went along with it.
Yes, and
And
let's
thanks
figure out
for
how to get him
those.
on the screen.
We will get there.
Okay.
We will get there. I told you before we went on. I will not be defeated.
All right. I pulled
I'm
out my
taking over the world.
ancient Selby coat of arms for you.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. From here, it looks like a bee
Well, it has
or
the
a
stripes
wasp.
on the coat.
Yeah, it looks like a wasp, a hornet. Until next time, my friend. Be leisurely.
Peace out, brah.